The heavy oak doors of the manor creaked shut, sealing out the biting night air as Louis, known to many as the Gloved, finally returned home. His bones ached with a fatigue that went deeper than mere travel. It was the weariness of a man who had walked between worlds. He found his young wife, Esther, by the hearth. As he sank into a chair, she tended to him with quiet grace, sensing the weight on his shoulders. "I saw her, Esther," Louis whispered, his voice raspy. "At the lake in Luxembourg. My mother, she appeared as a ghost, a shimmering mist against the water. She told me that while my father must face his punishment, all will eventually be well." Esther sat at his feet, her eyes wide with rapt attention. Louis leaned back, staring into the flames. As she spoke, my mind drifted back to my childhood in Byzantium. I kept thinking of the tale of Orpheus and Eurydice. I heard it 1,000 times in the courts there, but it always haunted me, that tragic end, the soul lost because a lover couldn't help but look back. Somehow, seeing my mother felt like that, a glimpse of something precious that is already gone. Esther pressed his hand. "Perhaps the dead do not always stay lost, Louis. We should visit her resting place. Let us go tomorrow." The next morning, the pair rode out under a pale sun. They traveled toward the site of the ancient Greek oracle, a place of myth tucked away from the modern world. When they arrived at the clearing where the great statue of Apollo stood, they both reined in their horses, gasping in disbelief. There was no ruin here, no crumbling marble or creeping ivy. The Greek temple surrounding the sacred spring was pristine, the stone white and shimmering as if the masons had finished their work only hours before. It sat at the mouth of a dark, yawning cave, the water bubbling forth with a rhythmic, crystal clarity. Beside the spring lay the sarcophagus of Louis' mother. Despite the isolation of the site, fresh lilies and mountain blooms rested atop the stone lid, just as Malusia, Louis' aunt, the mysterious serpent womanhood, prophesied. The air smelled of ozone and ancient honey. Louis looked at the tomb, the shadow of the Orpheus myth still darkening his brow. But Esther, looking at the vibrant flowers and the untouched temple, shook her head gently. "You speak of the tragedy you heard in the East, Louis," she said softly, her voice echoing off the marble. "But here in France, we tell a different story of Orfeo. Our harpers sing of a king who did not lose his love to the shadows, but brought her back through the strength of his music and a hope that refused to die." She looked at the cave mouth, then back at her husband. "Perhaps your mother isn't telling you a story of loss, but one of return."